it's a Jewish state. The whole Knesset says it's a Jewish state. The anti-Zionist movement outside of Israel tries to convince us that it is nothing to do with the Jews. Well, the Jews in Israel are telling us everything is to do with the Jews. It's up to you Jewish people to liberate Judaism then. Because if you want change, you need to get rid of the likes of Smotrich, because they've hijacked your religion. Smotrich, Ben-Gvir, Netanyahu, Gallant, all of them are guilty of hijacking true Judaism. If you say true Judaism is the teachings of the Prophet Moses, it has no difference with Islam. It has no difference with true Christianity. But if your Judaism comes from the Talmud, and which is then justifying the killing of Amalek children, then that is Jewish supremacism, it is Jewish violence, and just as you can call ISIS Muslim supremacism or violence, yes, so I have the right to call out Jewish supremacism when it's there. And Israel is a Jewish supremacist state by definition, by its own volition. They are not one of the parties in Israel, not one of the Jewish parties in Israel calls itself Zionist. Can you believe that? Not Likud, none of them. They don't even say, it doesn't come up in their manifestos. There's a so what is this business of anti-Zionism? What we've got is a Jewish supremacism which has taken root in Israel, and my Jewish brothers in the diaspora who fund that Jewish supremacism need to think again. You need to revise. It's not about Zionism or Jews, it's about recapturing your own faith. Now, to lighten things up, we've got the lovely Natalia Cadet who's going to come up and do us a little bit of poetry, and then we'll be back to the raucous speeches.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope we're all having a lovely sunny afternoon here in Speaker's Corner at Hyde Park. Now, as a poet, I believe that the power of storytelling is a fundamental base to honouring and preserving the heritage of one's place of origin. And with the likes of Zionists who wish to erase the stories of Palestinian people, not only would Palestinian people die first time round through missile strikes and bombs, but they'll also die with their stories being lost and forgotten, buried under rubble. The first poem I want to read is a short poem. It's in response to the 28th of February 2026 missile strike against the Shajarat Yabay, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, girls' primary school in Minab, Iran, where an American and Israeli missile strike had killed approximately 150 to 168 people, many of which were girls aged between 7 and 12 years old. This poem is called When Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu Bombed an Iranian School. Lined paperwork notebook edges open and charred, dust from debris, suffocated times tables and reports on kids' dreams to be doctors, builders, peacemakers and more when they grew to be adults. Now they can't grow to be anyone but coloured crayon stick people drowned in blood, pencils still gripped in small hands before recess. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Now, this next poem is kind of ironic considering I have this wonderful but somber display of the photos of all the children who had died due to the bombings, shootings and missile strikes in Gaza, in Lebanon and Iran. One such child was 4-year-old Osama, who I first encountered on Facebook through a video where sat upon his shoulders were 2 green rose-ringed parakeets. I saw a compassionate and caring little boy. But the worst part about all this was the vile comments on the Facebook posts, such as, "Thank God we got rid of a future terrorist," 2, that boy never existed, that video's AI generated. But that little boy did exist. His aunt said that he was the most kind, smart, and compassionate little boy in the household. Now he and his mother and parakeets are lost. This next poem is called The Boy with Two Rose-Ringed Parakeets. On 4-year-old Osama's shoulders sat 2 rose-ringed parakeets, feathers bright green against beige rubble. Chirp so cheerful that Osama forgets his hunger and feeds his parakeets, the homeless dogs and cats whose names and owners were lost to debris. He and his birds sing trills and tweets as cacophonous bombs shatter the streets. In one explosion, it swallows their son. Osama, his mother, and parakeets lay under concrete, silent, far too long. Green feathers now grey. No more harmonies fill the sky a forgotten hue of blue that Osama and his birds always flew. Thank you.
Well done.
From a very young age, every single person from primary school all the way up to high school were taught to be compassionate, kind, and empathic for one another, regardless of who they worshipped, regardless of their creed, regardless of their skin colour. This next poem was not written by me, but by a woman named Kathleen. She wrote this poem in the 1950s, but I believe the words are still relevant to this day. This poem is called God's Paint Tin by Kathleen Laws. God had lots of paint tins in the world they first began. So they took a subtle paintbrush. Oh, how the colours ran. They painted flowers purple, pink and crimson too. They painted dawns and sunsets in every shade and hue. But when it came to mankind, their stock was running light. And all they had to paint with was yellow, black and white. So when you meet a stranger with different coloured skin, remember, all that caused it was the colour in the tin.
Well done, Gareth.
Wow, brilliant. That's amazing. Thank you, Katya. We'll be back for more.
Yeah, no worries.
2 more to come, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Guys, I'm going to bring back the ex-UK ambassador to Syria, somebody who knows what he's talking about. And it's Peter Ford, the inimitable one and only Peter Ford, somebody who actually has stood up for the truth, even from the establishment, a rarity. But welcome to Peter Ford, who'll talk about one-state Palestine.
Thank you. Well, before I was so rudely interrupted, I was trying to explain why, for practical reasons, one-state Palestine makes a lot more sense than 2 states. 2 states have been talked about for over 30 years, and it's just a receding mirage. Every day that passes brings new evidence that the Palestinians are simply losing more and more land while this goes on. The politicians are in love still with 2 states because it gives them an alibi. They can appear pro-Palestinian while actually conniving at the creeping occupation. And we see with Prime Minister Burnham, our glorious new Prime Minister, who before his coronation, and while he was ingratiating himself with the membership, said, we Labour mistakes over. He gave a sort of semi-apology. Political lynching of the judge at the International Criminal Court who was going after Netanyahu. And that judge, or rather prosecutor, had been dismissed on spurious charges that were debunked by a panel of independent judges. But the International Criminal Court was under American and British pressure into a kangaroo court to dismiss prosecutor Karim Khan, a noble and brave man who has sacrificed everything for the truth. And Andy Burnham's act was to make Britain participate in this kangaroo court and to stab Karim Khan in the back and stab Palestinians in the back. If that is doing better for Andy Burnham, I would like to know what is doing worse. We can expect nothing from the Burnham government. He's exactly the same as the Starmerites, but he'll say anything. He's desperate to get Muslim votes. So Muslim brothers and sisters here, be aware that he's out to deceive you. Look at his actions, not his words. And let's hope that the handful of independent MPs in Parliament will hold him to account. But I don't hold out much hope, because those independent MPs are not organised. They should get behind us, the Workers' Party. I'm one of the deputy leaders of the Workers' Party, and we urge independents to at least come to an arrangement with us so we're not competing in the next elections, or join us when you can have a more organised voice in favour of one state Palestine. So people say, but it's not realistic, a one state Palestine. People said the same thing about South Africa without apartheid. People said that it was impossible that America would turn against Israel, but that's what we're seeing right now. The use of America, there's absolutely seismic change going on in America, and this will bring its fruits and make possible, inshallah, the coming about of one state in Palestine. I'll leave you with that thought. Very happy to answer questions.
Do you support the Palestinian flower banks, the principles of armed conflict being the only route to solution in the conflict?
I don't think anybody could, if they're honest, blame the Palestinians for thinking that armed resistance was the only way.
The question was, do you support
because the one-state solution has not been given a chance. First, we must bury the two-state solution. We have to develop this trend, and I stress, one-state Palestine is trending. People are talking about it more and more because they see that the two states is never going to happen. It's just an illusion. It's the carrot in front of the donkey. Palestinians themselves must take a lead in this. Maybe it's presumptuous for us non-Palestinians to speak, but many Palestinians have not been loyal. You know that. Their agents are running the Palestinian West Bank. So perhaps we do, as the campaigners for a democratic South Africa campaign alongside.
The question was, do you support, you as an individual, support the Palestinian flower beds, including armed conflict, as the only means to see a solution? Not the only,
I will
one
not
of
be led
several.
into temptation, my friend.
You have the right for it.
We do not have free speech in this country. We do not have free speech. We've seen with many actions of this government, and therefore it's impossible to speak openly about many subjects. We do not have free speech. So you'll forgive me if I am diplomatic and discreet on this point.
Can I just ask a question? I never caught your name and the group you're promoting.
The Workers' Party of Britain, George Galloway's party. I should have been more clear. I'm one of the deputy leaders of George Galloway's Workers' Party. George Galloway himself is in exile forced into exile by political harassment. He was pulled over at the airport, grilled for 5 hours. They stole his phone, his laptop. That is why he's not here with us today. But he sends his best wishes.
Yes, brother. Thank you, Peter Ford. Thank you so much for that again. I'm going to bring Samuel. We're going to have...
Great British people that the excavation machines are out in Gaza. The Trump/Netanyahu excavation machines, where they slice Gaza up. It's not something to cheer about, unfortunately. They slice Gaza up and they're now digging the ground up, taking millions of tons away, which includes the bones of all the children and the adults that have been buried in the rubble. Because Trump wants to build a Trump Tower and everything. Why isn't no one talking about this? Why isn't this being stopped? Because there's the evidence of genocide. A Harvard University study said there is up to 500,000 dead bodies in the rubble. And Trump and Netanyahu are systematically taking this rubble away. With the evidence of the genocide. This must be stopped. This is disgusting. They done this on 9/11. They had hundreds of trucks ready within 12 hours to take all the rubble away in 20-ton trucks, literally within 12 hours of 9/11, to prove that those buildings were brought down with internal explosions. Why is this being allowed to happen again? The evidence is being taken away of a genocide. What's that?
What about the 2 planes that crashed into the building?
Well, you can say what you want about them. I think they're a CGI. But you say whatever you want. You've asked a question, you've got my answer.
Nice one.
Right? So what I'm here also to say, but don't forget the rubble is being taken away with bodies of 500,000 people. But we know that half of them are children. And wasn't this the week?
Gardens can't count the number of deaths they have in their own land. They can't see the amount of missing people in their families and stuff like that.
Well, we've heard, discovered a family. Yes, they found some this week, haven't they? And they buried them this week. Whole families, right? And yet, why they're doing this, right? They are taking away excavations, giant excavations, digging the rubble away with all the bones and the clothes still there, right? This is disgusting. This is removing the evidence that puts Netanyahu, maybe even executes Netanyahu like they did at the Nuremberg trials for genocide. Now, I'm here today, right? Because we know there's a genocide, right? We know there's a genocide in Gaza, and we know who's doing it. And this flag that I've made tells you who's doing it. All right, do you agree? Yes. Now, we also know who's trying to create a civil war in this country. We also know he don't just work for Mossad, he works for MI5 as well. And he's working for the Americans.
Tommy, 2 shekels.
Many shekels. Right, and we know where he does with it. He sticks it all up his nose, and he goes with prostitutes, women that are being abused. He's supposed to protect. He goes with prostitutes. So what I'm saying, from the moment he formed the EDL, Tommy Robinson was funded by American Zionists. It's not just Bobby Shipman who funded his latest disaster of a. What's he called again? Mick? Was he called again? Wendell. Where's Wendell? He's gone. Wendell, who interviewed Tommy Robinson the other day in Luton. He's an absolute Christian Zionist. Right, so look, we know that from the very beginning.
Pretty charming.
Who is?
Wendell.
Oh, Wendell. He
saw you. That's why he left. He saw you.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't like me because I tell him what he is. He's a Christian Zionist.
You don't know what he is.
I know what Wendell is. Yes, I do.
He's a cameraman.
Yeah, and he's a Christian Zionist.
Zionist, I don't think so.
Oh, he is, he knows. And he's there all the time interviewing Tommy Robinson. So look, Tommy Robinson, when he formed the EDL, at the same time the Jewish Defence League was formed. He's absolutely a 100% from the very beginning Christian Zionist. What we've got, no, sorry, Bob, who comes down here, Bob the Builder, baptised Tommy Robinson. Bob the Builder, who's here, he's not a good Christian. This man is here to create divisions between Muslims and Christians. He is not a good Christian. We caught him, me and Sean, trying to pass messages to Posey Parker, to, what's his name? Nick Tenconi, right? Who is not just the leader of UKIP, he's leader of UK Turning Point. He's the leader of UK Turning Point. And Bob dressed up, as Sean said to me, dressed like a monk with the rosary beads. Because Nick Tenconi is a Roman Catholic. And he's sending messages to Posey Parker, tell Nick Tenconi, I want to meet him. Right, and dressed like a Roman Catholic monk with the rosary beads when he is actually a Protestant. Right, so he will do anything. And when he gets in there, he will displace Nick Tenconi and turn it into what Turning Point USA is, a Christian evangelical Zionist movement. So that's basically what Bob's up to. Bob treats all this down here as theatre. Right, Bob thinks we're all stupid. But some of us know the game, what he's up to. Do not trust Bob, the fake Christian Zionist. That's all I've got to say.
So, just a word before I have a young lady. Before I have, sorry, I'm sorry. Before I let a young lady come up to do her poetry, you see this disease of Zio-Jewish supremacy doesn't stop at Israel, does it? Lebanese children have been bombed to smithereens. It's not just Gaza. What they started in Gaza has ended up as the Dahiyya doctrine for carpet bombing Beirut. And the children in Lebanon have been taken down in their tens of thousands as well. I've got a young lady from Lebanon here who's going to give us a little bit of poetry. Maybe they'll come and give us a talk. But you see, a cancer doesn't stay in one place. So when you say there's a one-state Israel solution, which is what we've got now, that's a cancer which will spread all over the world. And it is spreading. And we can give you the evidence, chapter and verse. But I'm going to give something to the youngsters, because the new generation is going to want more change than we were able to achieve in ours. And it's down to them now.
I'm here to read a piece of poetry that I wrote myself, and it's about, you've seen the people wearing black right now, it's because we're doing a march for a thing called Karbala. Okay. So I wrote a poem about it, and this isn't against anyone, it's just what I believe in. Okay. The story of Karbala repeats again. The misery, the pain, the torture and oppression that happened back then. Yet still it continues till today. The children ask when they will be able to go out free and play. When the oppressors will leave them and go away. When they will stop worrying about needing to survive another day. This is something children wish every day. My people in Lebanon and Gaza that wish for their lands to be left alone, wanting and needing a place to call home. They ask for help, but it's like talking to a stone. But that's why we are here, to continue to speak up and make sure the world never forgets. Never forgets the pain of a mother that has had her child taken from her. Never forgets the children and families in Lebanon and Palestine. There is a genocide happening. We reject. An attempt to ethnically cleanse our land. We do not neglect. This is what they are planning, but they will never achieve this. Their power will come to an end, and we will continue to defend, because we already know what we are fighting for, and that our people will win no matter how much we endure. This has happened before and we know how it will end. But we have to stay strong and never give up, because standing for justice always comes with a reward, no matter how long it takes, even if it comes with loss and heartbreak. It's a promise from God, and for this we take upon the lessons that we learned from the story of our beloved Imam Hussein, to continue his legacy like all the free people of the world, that regardless of their religion or race, we say no to injustice.
Thank you so much. Look, the thing is, I've watched millions of people marching across this country. Good people, good hearts. But the leadership has let them down, because what have those marches achieved? We've got an anti-Zionist movement which hasn't been able to shift the British government even 1 inch. What can we do?
They've been trying to ban you, and they haven't banned you.
Yep.
So you've had the right to assemble, and you've pushed the rights of all people that live in this country in the right to assemble. That is a victory in these totalitarian, authoritarian times.
I'll take that, but we need to do more. My thing is more. What is more? What more can we do to genuinely hold us back? You know, Laith Marouf, do watch Free Palestine TV. Laith Marouf is the man. He is the man who's giving the line. Listen to Laith. Laith says very clearly, look, don't worry about Palestine. You people in the West, you need to liberate yourselves.
Exactly, education.
Exactly, yeah.
You got to liberate yourselves from the Zionist takeover of your government. You've got to liberate your own people from the overtaking by Jewish and Israeli exceptionism and by their political infiltration.
Here, here.
He says, liberate yourselves so that then you might be able to liberate Palestine. You will never be able to liberate Palestine until you, the European people, the British people, the English people, are liberated yourselves. They are enslaving us through every kind of high-tech, every kind of Palantir-style AI, every kind of means of surveillance, every kind of means of creating national security bills to shut us up, to shut the journalists up, to shut the protesters up. They're carrying away little old ladies into prison. They're threatening every person who is against genocide with prison while they entertain the leaders of the IDF, people who've just killed kids, are getting red carpet treatment into this country, free access through the airports, free access into 10 Downing Street, free access to
What about the
Parliament.
IDF soldiers that are coming back to Golders Green?
Over 2,000 of them have been recorded.
Why are they
2,000
being tried?
IDF soldiers are here wandering around the streets of London, Golders Green, whatever. They could be living next door to you. If I said to you, ISIS were being allowed in easily, that easily, if ISIS were being given visas, if ISIS were being taken to 10 Downing Street, if ISIS was being accommodated in houses next door to you, what would you think? What would you say? Why is it that IDF terrorists are allowed to come into our streets, our homes, our neighbourhoods without even a question?
Because MI5 and MI6 create these terrorist groups.
And the evidence for that is just look at Jolani in Syria. Whatever you believe about Syria, I'm not a pro-Assad guy, but I'll tell you one thing, Jolani is an MI5, MI6, CIA agent. That's how they work. He was the head of ISIS, the head of Al-Qaeda, and they are all in the same camp. We are being played. You are being played. We're being lied to. Now I'm going to soften it again.
Can I mention one thing briefly about
Yeah,
very briefly?
Sam, go,
Sorry, it was just Mohsin is asking about what we can do here in England. Here's one thing we can do. There are 3 doctors, among many others, who are really at the sharp end of the Jewish assault on our freedom of speech. It's about Rahana Ali, consultant neurologist, Dr. Rahme Aladwan, Dr.
All the religious systematic abuse or systematic religious
Everyone